guys, it is quite dark when I have to go to work. There are some street lights, but not everywhere. So I've got to drive in the darkness. But by now, I think I'm used to it. So this is me getting to work. I will speak to you again when I'm at the station. Hi guys, so this is me getting to work. It is quite dark and cold. Yeah guys, yeah, there's a bit of the lights here. Morning. So yeah guys, just to show you guys. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. So guys, the first thing I do when I get to work is literally I need to clean the workstation because of COVID, and of course just for hygiene reasons. You never know who was in there or where they came from, what they have. And because I've had COVID before, I'm just extra careful. So I use the sanitizer at work. There's a big bottle of sanitizer at the back, and I just sprinkle that on the cloth, and then I wipe off everything. As you can see, I even wipe off the knobs on the controls and the mic and the earphones, because you never know who touched them. That's the thing. So yeah, so before anything else, I clean the desk. I also wipe off the chair actually, because the chair has those side holders or handles, or whatever you call them. I wipe off the telephone. I wipe off the knobs on the telephone. Yes, I wipe off every single thing, because when you're in studio, you're literally touching everything that's in front of you. So I thoroughly clean that up. I wipe off the keyboards. There's an extra keyboard that side for that other computer. And yeah, I take off the pop filter and I wipe off the mic, because COVID can stay on metal for at least 72 hours or so, I think they said. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I wipe off the keyboard, and yeah, and then I start working. Basically that's me just logging into the computer to get my account ready so that I can start prepping for my show, and then I just get to sit down and work. Hi guys, so as you can see, I am already at work. I started working. I've done my intro to the show, to the program. I need to do the weather forecast. I need to get ready for that. I need to prep for the news at the top of the hour. But luckily I've got my coffee with me. I also brought my water, but my whole bottle of water spilled in the car, and I can't have my water this morning, but at least I have my coffee. Imagine the whole water bottle just fell and everything spilled in the car. So yeah, This is basically the studio setup. I'll just show you a proper studio setup when I have a bit of time. But obviously you can't hear much of the music I'm playing because of YouTube copyright and stuff. But I'll try to put in the bits where I'm actually reading the news or doing the weather. I'll try to put that in so you can hear how I sound like when I'm on air, because I have a radio voice and I think I have a normal voice, and I think it's normal. Everybody who works on radio or television has got a TV voice and also a radio voice. I'm still a little cranky because I don't know, I'm just not a morning person, but obviously for the sake of my work, I need to always cheer myself up. And I do that, you know, with the music. I sing along, I dance along, I dance, and that really sometimes just gets me in the mood and the space to do the show. So yeah. Yeah, so you'll hear me do the weather and I'll do the news at the top of the hour, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, stick around. It's David Gray with Sapling. Brought you a whole bunch of great songs for this Tuesday morning. Good morning to you. It is the 3rd of August 2021. 17 minutes are gone after 6 a.m. If you just tuned in, it is Touch FM 91.7 FM. My name is Lishan and I'll be in your company. Let's take a look at your first shocking story for this morning. So yeah, guys, I actually just realized that I didn't place the tripod on the right position, and also I'm actually using a smaller tripod. So it was very difficult to film everything, and I know there's no headroom or whatever. So I'm sorry for the bad filmmaking, but this is me sitting there trying to figure out my playlist and get a couple of songs onto the system or on the playlist that I would like to play throughout the show. So I pre-listen and then I add them on to the playlist. And then on this side of the computer, I also just sort out my news bulletins and stuff that I'm going to be sharing with my listeners, whether it's informative stuff or news bites, or basically just everything that's got to do with what I, usually give my listeners on the show. So that's me just prepping the playlist and everything and making sure that for the next 4 hours, I'm going to have a fantastic show. So yeah, it takes a lot, guys. It looks easy, but it really does take a lot, especially with brain power. You need to be able to think on your toes. You also need to be very factual. So it takes a lot of research and a lot of reading. So you need to be updated with the latest news. You need to be reading all the time and stuff. So now I'm going to just show you guys what the studio looks like from the beginning to the end, or from, yeah. And then I'm gonna share just how I read some of the news bulletins with you. And yeah, you'll just see how much fun I normally have in studio by myself. It's actually really, really fun because the music is always dope. And of course, if I have my coffee, then it is extra, extra fun.
that noise? Oh, it's me again.
Good morning. It's 6:33 and here is your weather forecast on Touch FM. Starting off in the interior, it's partly cloudy and warm to hot. Windy weather will persist in the interior. The coast is partly cloudy and mild to warm with fog patches in places. The wind will be light to moderate northwesterly to southwesterly. Tides at Walvis Bay, low tide is expected this morning at 5:52, a high tide at 12:25, and another low tide is expected at 18:05 in the afternoon. Sunrise in Windhoek today will be at 7:24, sunset will be at 18:32. Minimum maximum temperatures for today: Windhoek 6:24, Walvis Bay 8:21, Swakopmund 7:19, Rundu 9:26, maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. That is your weather forecast for this morning. It is currently 6:34. Good morning to you. Thank you for choosing Touch FM.
So, guys, that is how I give the weather forecast to my listeners, and I play some really cool music just to cheer myself up and also my listeners, because I do the breakfast show. It has to be really good up tempo music. That's why it's important that I always make sure I choose my playlist very carefully, so that I make sure that I don't let anybody fall asleep while they need to get up and go to work, or get ready while they're getting ready for work and for school and stuff. So, yeah, I dance along, I sing along. This is also just a way for me to get on with the day, get into the vibe of things. And yeah, I dance in the studio. I really just have fun, even if it's just by myself, because I know there are people listening, and that's just me really rocking away and having fun and getting that groove in. I really don't know what to say, guys. So I brought a banana because I really get hungry later on. That is in the show. So I'm going to have my banana while I work, and then continue drinking my coffee and get on with the show.
Warning. Warning. Jam so fat you could gain weight. Touch FM.
The time is 9 a.m. I'm Lishan Kakas, and here are your top stories on Touch FM. In local news, the rate at which people are testing positive for COVID-19, along with the death rate, has dropped quite significantly over the past weekend. Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, the Minister of Health and Social Services, announced that 150 Afghan city amid fears it could be the first provincial capital to fall to the Taliban. Lashkar Gah in southern Helmand province is under heavy assault from the militants despite persistent US and Afghan airstrikes. The Taliban are said to have seized a TV station. Thousands of people fleeing rural areas took shelter in buildings. Finally, Palestinians threatened with eviction in East Jerusalem have rejected an offer that they will rent their homes from a Jewish settlement organization. In a closely watched and divisive case, Israel's top court proposed a compromise to end a long.
Yeah, guys, I think you pretty much get the idea of how I spent my 4 hours on air. Every hour, I have to read the news at the top of the hour. Every hour, there's a news bulletin that I need to compile and read on air. And then, yeah, play some great music. There's also other things like health talk. There's days of the year. There's so many different segments on the show. I do hashtag spoilers, where I introduce new movies and I play trailers of the movies on air. And yeah, there's just so much that I can't compact into one video. So yeah, hopefully I'll do more of these kind of videos soon. So guys, as I showed you in the beginning of this clip, that is of course our offices, or that is our office, and this is just another workstation where you get to sit down and actually do your prep for the next day. You take the time to do some research, you read up on stuff, and you just plan your show for the next day. That's what we use this desk for, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. And then I'm just gonna head home after that. So that's basically how my day is at work.
Okay, hi guys. So as you can see, I am back home from work. It is 5 minutes to 12 now. So my work day is practically over. I'm having some tea. So yeah, I normally don't have breakfast because it's so early in the morning when I have to go to work, and sometimes I'm just rushing through the morning as long as I can just get to work on time, because my show starts at 6 a.m. So, and sometimes I wake up only at 5, even though my alarm is set for 4:30, which is something I'm working on. I need to change that. It's quite hectic, but yeah, so that's a typical day at work. We're in a pandemic right now, and you didn't see some of my, or most of my, or any of my colleagues coming in and in the studio because we're trying to keep social distancing, and most of them are actually working from home. So yeah, it's really just in and out of studio. You just go do your thing and then you leave. You hardly have any contact with other colleagues at work because of the pandemic. I also normally pick up my daughter around this time, or yeah, an hour from now I would have had to pick up my daughter from school. But of course, we're in lockdown, so schools are closed for now. So yeah, actually schools are reopening tomorrow. That's another thing. So we need to readjust to taking kids to school and picking them up and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm home. I just ran a couple of errands. I bought some chili bites, which I'm going to be munching on as we talk, because there's something I want to share with you. And I've been wanting to talk about this for quite some time. And I also think I should, because I just had another episode. So I think I should just share my experience. I'm talking about my experience with COVID-19, guys. Beginning of this year in January, I tested positive for COVID-19, and it was unexpected. You know, nobody expects it, because you think you're taking care of yourself, you think you are careful, you think you're cautious, you you're not out and about, you're sanitizing, you're washing your hands, you're, social distancing and stuff. But it's true that what they say about, viruses like COVID-19, it's not discriminatory. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how clean you are, how much money you have, what you don't have. It doesn't matter. If it catches you, it catches you. So I got COVID-19 in January, super unexpectedly, and I fell ill. Now, mind you, I have no prior underlying conditions. I have no comorbidities or whatever they call it. And I normally am not a sickly person. The only sickness I probably get is I catch a cold or a flu, and a very mild one for that matter, and period pains. Maybe a headache or two every now and then or whatever. But sick, I hardly get sick. So I was like, what is going on? I had no, imagination that I would get COVID-19. But anyway, so I caught COVID-19. First of all, I fell sick at home. I got the flu, and I got the headaches, and I got the muscle aches, and I got the fever, and I was so confused until I went for the test. I went for the test, and at that time you had to wait for about 7 days or so before you could get your results. 4 to 7 days before you get your results. So I was self-medicating at home until one day I just woke up and I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. My chest was closing up or closing in. It was painful. I couldn't breathe. I was coughing. My throat was sore. And so I got taken to the hospital. And at the hospital, of course, they admitted me at the respiratory ward. And I got, I stayed in hospital. I was put on oxygen. They did a couple of blood tests. They really did like thorough blood tests to see what the hell is wrong with you, because COVID, yes, is a virus, but it only gets to that level if you have underlying conditions, I think, and if you have comorbidities, other diseases and chronic illnesses and, stuff. So my expectation was that even if it's COVID, I'm gonna be fine because I'm a young, healthy, I was 32 at the time, 32-year-old, so I'm gonna be okay. So the doctor does a couple of tests. He draws blood and he does tests, and did all the tests, and then he's like, we're not sure why you suffering from COVID-19 to this degree, because you're quite healthy and you're a young person. This is so unexpected. But anyway, 2 days into being in hospital with the oxygen, my lungs started opening up. I started feeling a little better, and I only lasted in hospital for about 4 to 5 days. Let me say I stayed in hospital for about a week, and then I was okay. Your girl was fine. I could breathe. So I think I just had caught a really bad case of SARS-CoV-2. And I just thank God that I got healed, because the experience with COVID-19 is a very horrible one. You end up not being able to breathe. Your chest is always closing up. You're coughing non-stop, especially the not being able to breathe part. I really thought I was dying. I thought that was my deathbed, but I thank God I am alive, I'm healed, and I'm here. So now, the problem now that I'm facing is having long COVID. So after I, came out of hospital, things were quite weird. I hadn't been in the hospital ever in my life that I can remember, for such a long extent. So I was quite weirded out by everything, but I managed to bounce back. Within a week's time, I managed to get back to work and everything was coming back. Certain things were not the same. I don't eat as much meat as I used to anymore. So, as I was saying, I got slightly interrupted by some noise outside. So, a few things got back to normal. However, a few things didn't. Like, I read up on long COVID, and that is even before I started experiencing the symptoms of long COVID. No, I started experiencing the symptoms of long COVID before I actually took the time to read about it and find out, is it just me, or is there something just not the same about myself after having COVID? So I went ahead and read about it, guys. Like, long COVID is real. I am suffering tremendous memory loss, short-time memory loss, that is short-term memory loss. My appetite also is just not the same anymore. And this is 6 months down the line. I'm still not, feeling like I am fully recovered from, whatever that is. Oops, almost spilled my tea. Whatever that is, COVID. So I just want to address the issue of long COVID because I'm really experiencing symptoms. Yesterday, no, a few days ago at work, I think it was, yeah, a couple of days ago, I went to work and parked my car. Now at my job, there's two parkings. There's one outside, there's an outside parking, and then there's an inside parking. Inside meaning not inside the building, but in the yard. So I normally park outside. And then on Monday, I decided I'm going to park inside at my boss's spot because he doesn't come to work that early. So I park at his spot, and then after my show and after, doing my thing, I walk out of the building and I just start walking to the outside parking. And then I see the security guards, and then I'm like, hey guys, see you tomorrow. And then one security guard says, hey Meme, so you forgot you parked inside. And then they all just start bawling. They all just start laughing at me. And I also find it so funny. And then we all just like, bawl into laughter. And I'm just like, wow. So those are like, how can I forget that I parked inside? It's just something that, and normally when my boss isn't around, I take his spot and I normally park my car inside. But out here I was walking out of the building without realizing that I actually, parked my car inside. So, and it's not just that episode. Even today, I had to leave my access card for my colleague at work, and because she lost hers. It's not a big deal. She just needs to get access into the studio. So she asked me last night and this morning. She gave me a call to remind me to leave the card for her at security, and I totally forgot. I'm telling you, I drove home. I came back home, and then I remembered. Oh my goodness! And what helped me remember was the fact that my access card usually is where I put my cell phone in the car. So when I picked up my cell phone, I saw the access card, and then I'm like, oh, I totally forgot. I have to turn back. And so I came home, and then I had to return back to work to go and drop off the access card. So my emphasis about telling you this story is that long COVID is real, and having COVID itself is really, it's just a bummer. It's a hell of a terrible virus to have. At some point, I thought I was gonna die. My heart felt like it was gonna stop beating. I just was seeing visions of me leaving this earth, and I remember lying on that bed in hospital and just praying and telling God in that oxygen mask that, you didn't bring me this far just for me to die. You've given me visions. You've shown me things that you want me to achieve. And now you're just going to take me like this. This can't be the end of me, Braji. That's what I said. And then I prayed, and it really takes a lot of, it takes a lot out of you, dealing with COVID. and you need to be strong and brave. And I'm telling you this because you don't know whether you're going to get it or not. You just pick it up somewhere, even though you're being careful. So guys, long COVID is real. If there's anybody out there suffering from long COVID, please comment down below. Let me know what your symptoms are, and how you're dealing with. For me, I personally have an issue with this short-term memory loss thing. I just can't deal. I can't remember things I did on Monday. I can't remember things I did 2 weeks back or whatever. Like, it's really, really bad. And I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. What helps me though is that I've started writing down to-do lists and everything. So sometimes, but I always am not in the vibe to write down everything. But when I do, I can then go back and see what I did 2 weeks ago, what I said I would do and stuff like that. I literally plan out a day in my mind, and the day can come and I will forget from A to Z what I had set out to do or what I had planned or said that I was going to do. So that's my experience with COVID-19 and also suffering from long COVID. I know this story might be all over the place, but I hope you get the point of what I'm trying to say. And I'm just trying to share my experience of how it was with COVID. So yeah, comment down below. Let me know how your experience was. I don't wish COVID on anybody, not even my worst enemy. It's just a horrible virus. It is terrible. So comment down below, let me know your experience. Please like and subscribe. This is where I'm ending this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking. I'm thanking you in advance. Please like the video and please do subscribe to my channel. Guys, I only have like 50 subscribers. It is so funny. But I think we're getting there, because when I started this channel, I had like 6 subscribers. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe, like, and put down a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Love you guys. Bye.